You've been there. Standing between two paths. Both seem right, yet both seem wrong. One promises stability, the other whispers freedom. Your mind pulls in one direction, your heart in another. And in that tug of war, you freeze. You scroll for answers, overthink every option, wait for a sign from the universe, but silence stares back. Swami Vivekananda once faced the same moment, and out of that confusion he discovered a three-word rule that can end indecision forever. 3 words that turn hesitation into clarity, fear into faith, and confusion into courage. Today you'll learn that rule and how to use it to choose your right path. In life, the hardest moments are not when you fail, but when you don't know what to choose. A new job or old security, love or logic, silence or expression. Every decision shapes your destiny, yet no one teaches you how to decide. You ask people, they confuse you. You ask your heart, it changes. You ask your mind, it argues. Vivekananda said each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest that divinity within. So the real question isn't which path is right, it's which path awakens your divinity. That shift in question changes everything. The year was 1890. Narendranath Dada, not yet known as Swami Vivekananda, stood at a personal crossroads. His beloved teacher, Sri Ramakrishna, had passed away. The disciples were scattered, struggling, directionless. Narendra himself was torn. Should he retreat into the Himalayas for meditation and renunciation, or stay in the world and serve humanity? He was just 27, broke, homeless, carrying the responsibility of a mission he didn't fully understand yet. One evening, as he walked along the banks of the Ganga, the river reflected the moonlight like liquid silver. He stopped and whispered to himself, "What does God want of me?" Silence. Then the inner voice spoke, calm but firm, strength, faith, fearlessness. Those 3 words became his compass. He realized that no matter the path, action or meditation, world or wilderness, he must walk it with strength, faith, and fearlessness. That was the moment when a confused young man became Swami Vivekananda, the lion who awakened a nation. The 3-word decision rule. Let's decode Vivekananda's rule, because it's not just philosophy, it's a decision framework. He said, "Be strong, my young friends. That is my advice to you. Nothing is impossible for the strong." So when you face a decision, ask yourself these 3 words. 1. Strength. Does this choice make me stronger or weaker? Not easier, not safer, stronger. If the answer is weaker, it's not your path. Vivekananda believed every right decision expands your power. Every wrong one shrinks it. Strength doesn't always mean comfort, it means growth, even through challenge. 2. Faith. Does this choice align with my higher faith, not my fear? He said, "Fear is death, faith is life." Faith means trust in your purpose, that even if you can't see the whole staircase, you'll take the next step anyway. When you choose with faith, you're guided by vision, not validation. Ask, does this decision come from love or from fear? If it comes from fear, pause. If it comes from purpose, proceed. 3. Fearlessness. Am I avoiding this path because it scares me? Vivekananda said, the greatest sin is to be weak. Every major turning point in life hides behind fear. Fear of judgment, of loss, of failure. His advice? Walk straight through the fear, because fear loses power the moment you face it with action. Imagine you're offered a new job, higher pay, but in a city you've never been to. You're torn. What do? Apply the 3-word rule. Strength. Will this challenge make me grow? Faith. Do I feel inner excitement beneath the fear? Fearlessness. Am I avoiding it only because it's new? If the answers are yes, you already know your path. The mind complicates what the soul already knows. Or imagine you're ending a relationship that no longer serves your spirit. It hurts, but deep down you know it's time. Ask again, does staying make me weaker? Does leaving require faith? Am I afraid of loneliness more than I'm attached to love? The truth becomes self-evident. The right path is rarely easy, but it always feels like freedom. Once Vivekananda was asked by a disciple, "How can I be sure that the path I choose is the right one?" He replied, "Walk one step with faith. The next step will be shown." Then he told a story. A monk began climbing a mountain in darkness. He carried a small lantern that illuminated only a few feet ahead. He couldn't see the peak, but he kept walking. Each step revealed the next. By dawn, he stood at the summit. That's the truth of life. You'll never see the whole journey, only the next step. But if you walk with strength, faith, and fearlessness, You'll never be lost. Here's how to use the three-word rule practically. 1. When faced with confusion, write down both options. Ask, which choice makes me stronger? Circle it. 2. When you feel fear, breathe and repeat, I have faith in my higher self. 3. When overthinking begins, whisper, fearlessness. Take one action, however small, in the direction that expands you. Repeat this in every area: relationships, career, purpose, spirituality. Soon you'll realize, clarity isn't found, it's chosen. Think about this. Every major event in your life came down to one moment of choice. You said yes, and life changed. You said no, and a new chapter began. The problem is not wrong choices, it's not choosing at all. Vivekananda said, take up one idea, make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. You can't live your destiny if you're waiting for certainty. Certainty comes after commitment. That's why the universe rewards boldness, because boldness signals belief. Years later, when Vivekananda stood before thousands in Chicago, he began his speech with the words, Sisters and Brothers of America. The crowd erupted for 2 minutes straight. Why? Because those words came from a place of absolute inner clarity, strength, faith, and fearlessness. He didn't know if they would listen. He didn't know if he'd be accepted. But he knew one thing: he was walking the path of truth. And when you walk your truth, the world makes way. So here's your moment. What decision are you stuck on right now? What path have you been afraid to walk? Take a deep breath and whisper these 3 words: strength, faith, fearlessness. Then ask your heart again, what do I really want? You'll feel it. That quiet pull, that's your soul's direction. Follow it. Even if you can't see the entire road, trust the light of your own lantern. When you start choosing through this lens, your life begins to shift. You'll doubt less, regret less. Sleep peacefully, knowing you acted with integrity. Because the right path isn't always comfortable, but it always feels clean. You stop asking, what if I'm wrong, and start saying, whatever happens, I'll grow. That's the freedom Vivekananda lived for. Take one deep breath right now. Feel your heartbeat. That's life asking you to decide. Say silently, I choose purpose over fear. If you're ready to begin, type in the comments, I choose purpose over fear. That's your first step toward transformation. And remember, arise, awake, and stop, not till the goal is reached.